As blackouts roll on, the impact of the electricity crisis is becoming clearer. For instance, South Africans who depend on oxygen-concentrated machines say the power cuts are a matter of life and death. For small businesses, the worry surrounds the loss of profits as they are forced to close shop during long outages. Let's get an update then from eNCA's Nqobile Madlala, who has been following the impact of the blackouts throughout the day. And Nqobile, stage 5 is where we are at the moment. We were at stage 6 at some point. Just give me a sense of the voices that you're coming across as you are gauging the impact of these outages on people.
Well, we were on the ground to listen. What we found is that people are disgruntled. They're unhappy with what's currently happening. But it depends who you ask. For example, if you go to Riverlea, they have a mine dump that surrounds the area. So quite a number of people that you speak to there have issues with respiratory. Right? Which means this is something that they've inherited over time. It continues. Now, some of them purely dependent on oxygen, which is a machine that needs to be plugged in and cannot stay for longer than 2 hours. At this point, you have 4 hours rolling blackouts. So what happens to that person? So these people are saying that if I'm dependent on oxygen, what must I do? Does that mean that they have to have transport money to go to the next place where they can get assistance? So that means now financially they're being affected. It means their health is being affected. But you also have people that have asthma in the same area. This is because of what they call implications of the mine dust that is around them. Now, that lady we spoke to is saying that as an asthmatic person, if she now uses wood and there's that smoke that comes out of the wood, she says that her chest tightens. So this is a matter of life and death for them. But now if you go to Soweto, you find that there's a crime that is happening in the area. They're saying you can't see anything, the patrollers can't assist. You find yourself in a situation where there's crime that is happening in your house, but you have nobody to help you because nobody has torches. Nobody can get those alternative power, and people are struggling. One lady's telling us of a horror story where she woke up and her son had found people in a dining room, and already they had taken out the window under
the cover of darkness.
Exactly. So now it depends who you ask, but it seems like for a lot of people, these rolling blackouts, which are much longer, are affecting them more deeper than what you think. But let's listen in as they explain further.
I've got asthma, and when the light is off, we can't cook. There's nothing to eat for us, and then the children are not washing. They can't go to school because they are not washing. There's a lot of people got asthma here in Riverlea. They're dying of there's no lights. The machine's not going on, nothing. And then we can't cook, we can't eat. The whole day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, there's no lights here. We haven't got paraffin, we haven't got gas stoves, nothing. The children, when they eat, we can't cook. We must make a fire outside for us.
So the problem is when the power goes off, the machine is off and they can't breathe on their own. I can tell you about 12 people who have died already in 2 years' time. People that I have to work with personally, myself and David van Wyk from Benchmarks Foundations. So those people were affected because of the situation that we are facing now. It's power and everything. But most of them, they can't breathe on their own, so the system that they are using with the respiratory system is helping them to help them breathe. So if they can't breathe on their own when the power is off, that's the problem.
Nqobile, the people that you're talking to, how are they making sense of this problem, particularly in as far as officialdom and institutions are concerned? Are they feeling let down?
At this point, yes, Tulas. In fact, some of the leaders have called for officials to just step down if they don't know what they're doing. But others are saying that there is an immediate problem. If you have rolling blackouts and people have to walk at night and go to their houses, why not just keep the lights on outside so that they're able then to be on the road, so if there was anything to happen, they know where to run to. And you also make sure that there is some sort of security, because if the lights are on the road, the street lights, that only means that anyone who's patrolling can see what's happening, and you can see someone who's running and all sort of things. But I mean, we've seen this in the past. Even the street lights are not always working. But let's listen in.
What we need is a green Eskom. So Eskom must be repurposed to actually provide renewables. We need a corruption-free, efficient, service-centered green Eskom. So I think the real problem now, Nqobile, is that we are looking, at two. On the one hand is the IPPs, on the other is Eskom. But the IPPs for the next 10 years, 20 years, will never provide enough electricity, for South Africa. So the first port of call is to improve Eskom, remove the corruption, remove derater, have a guy who is an electrical engineer and is a good manager, an engineer trained also in renewable energy. Remove Mantashe because, he's tied into coal. I think someone is paying him, to promote coal. Remove Ramaphosa because he is a billionaire. He only thinks of capitalist solutions. I think indeed remove the ANC because they failed completely to focus on the needs of the people.
All right, Nqobile, we'll see you a bit later. We'll see more of your reporting on that story a bit later here on eNCA. That's Nqobile Madlala. They're tracking that story and the impact and painting a very vivid picture of how the power cuts and outages affect all of us in many varied ways as we live through them.